Okay, so the Philadelphia Eagles, coming off their biggest win, will be without a key offensive starter for at least a month. Meanwhile, the defense does something that we haven't seen for at least 20 years. And man, when you rewatch the film and exactly what transpired, you gotta be speechless. So much to break down, including Nakobe Dean just being a different type of linebacker. Plus, the Jalen Phillip effect is very noticeable, and a disturbing report from a former Eagles insider about Jalen Hurts. What? But first, you can see here that Jalen Hurts was visibly upset on the field. What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk Podcast. If you rock with the 8-2 NFC leading Philadelphia Eagles, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss the videos. So, as we already know by now, the Philadelphia Eagles defense absolutely dominated the Detroit Lions. But when I went back and watched it, plus looked where the Detroit Lions offensive numbers ranked and heard from Baldy slash others on what really transpired, this was one for the ages. But first, breaking news that happened around the middle of the day yesterday. Adam Schefter tweeted that the Eagles' five-time All-Pro offensive tackle Lane Johnson suffered a Liz Frank injury during Sunday night's win over the Detroit Lions. Per sources, it is not expected to be a season-ending injury, but he could be heading to injured reserve. Now, the estimated timetable is 4 to 6 weeks, but we all know Lane Johnson is a different breed. Listen to Baldy break down Lane Johnson versus Aiden Hutchinson on this one play.
Sometimes you just have to laugh at the Eagles offense. This is 3rd and 15. First quarter. This is Aiden Hutchinson's down. He can just pin his ears back and just get after the quarterback, right? 3-man rush. Lane's got him locked up right here. Tyler Steen comes over to help, and he's like, nah, Lane's good. He doesn't need any help. Let me go see if anybody else needs any help. Quarterback's trying to figure out if he should throw it, not throw it. Meanwhile, here's Hutchinson. Like, he can't get away from Lane. Lane right now knows exactly the mouthwash that he used in the morning after he brushed his teeth. Lane's like, can we just get rid of the ball? Maybe under 5 seconds, 6 seconds, like, I don't know, 8 seconds. Can we just get rid of it? It's funny to watch. Man, can you hold it any longer?
We're going to need Lane Johnson down the stretch, but more importantly, in the playoffs. So let the man rest. We got Big Fred Johnson, who can fill in his place. Although that extra offensive lineman package that we run so well ain't going to hit the same with Matt Pryor and Fred Johnson and not Lane and Fred Johnson. However, the schedule does get a lot easier going forward, but you can't count out any NFL team. I'm just wishing Lane Johnson the best. Now, real quick, before we talk about the ultimate defensive performance and a lot to break down there, look at this funny picture, but it's really how Jalen Hurts compared to Justin Herbert be looked at across the NFL. Justin Herbert had 102 total yards, 0 touchdowns, and a blowout loss against the 23rd ranked defense. Oh, you're sweet. Jalen Hurts had 210 total yards, a touchdown, and a close win against the number 5 defense. Hello? Human resources? And if you want to talk just passing yards, Justin Herbert had 81 compared to Jalen Hurts' 135. Now, granted, we all know Jalen Hurts didn't have a great game, but who did on offense? The play caller was suspect, multiple drops from Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, A.J. Brown can't get separation, penalties on the offensive line, but somehow, when push comes to shove against the 5th-ranked defense, we go down the field and score and handle business. The Eagles' offense got to be better, but I've seen quarterbacks and offenses struggle across the league, but no team gets highlighted more than the Philadelphia Eagles. Whose offense looked better Sunday night, the Lions or the Eagles? Trust me, the Eagles looked plenty better. Now, granted, the Lions were going against the number 1 defense in the NFL, but the Lions' defense was ranked 5th, so that defense was good too. Plus, shout out to everybody who talked about the win playing a factor. Maybe it did. Still, as much as I think the number 1 thing is the play calling, execution was poor during that game for Jalen Hurts, sometimes the wide receivers, the O-line, you name it. They all got to be better, and they know they can be better. Jalen Hurts in the playoffs never disappoints, and he will be back sooner or later. Like I said, I want to flip things over to the defense because there's a lot to talk about there. We will get to the disturbing report from Derek Gunn about people on the Eagles team and in the organization frustrated with Jalen Hurts. Come on, bro. Really? But like I said, to me, that's nonsense. Let's talk real football before we have to address this. And the defense was crazy. And I got to give a lot of props to what we did on fourth down. Baldy said it best.
4th and 1, midfield. Here we go. Watch the movement right here. Jomo and Brandon Graham. A little twist stunt right here. Now, you got Amon-Ra St. Brown blocking a Jomo, and watch Brandon Graham just stuff the guard. And then a Jomo makes the play. All right? They weren't accounting for that. You can't put Amon-Ra St. Brown right there on a Jomo. All right? The stunt worked right there. All right? Now, 4th and 4, opening drive of the third quarter. Here we go. Here comes a little stunt right here. All right? Now, you watch. That's actually good protection. And Goff makes a good throw. Jameson Williams drops it, okay? Low throw, but he makes him drop. Then 4th and 4 right here. Late in the third quarter, here comes Jaelan Phillips, just ghosting the right tackle. Now, Goff is trying to buy some time, and he makes this throw, an errant throw in the back of the end zone. Excellent coverage by Adoree Jackson. All right, now you get this right here. 4th and 3, next series, late third quarter. There's Quinyon Mitchell. Feet in the ground. They're coming right to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Sticky. All kinds of sticky stuff. Can't make the throw. And then even in the first quarter, all right, they try to draw the Eagles offside on 4th and 6. The Lions came in on fourth downs, 13 of 18. One of the best teams in the league at converting fourth downs. They ended up going 0 for 5 in this game. Eagles defense was up to the task all night long.
0 for 5. 0 for 5. This defense is Super Bowl championship ready. The Lions, on fourth down prior to this game, went for it 18 times and got 13. They were number 1 on fourth down, but couldn't do a damn thing versus us. Shoot, Philadelphia Eagles Central tweeted that the Eagles held Jared Goff to a 37.8 completion percentage, which is the 9th lowest mark by a quarterback who has 35 plus attempts since 2005. Jared Goff, who's been balling, had a top 10 worst performance of the last 20 years. My goodness. I mean, the Eagles Twitter page is talking about what Quinyon Mitchell did last night and this season. 6 targets, 0 receptions, which is his third time to do it this season. Quinyon Mobe welcomes you, and it just keeps getting better. Underdog tweeted, before tonight, Amon-Ra St. Brown's worst single game catch rate was 33.3%. He finished with a 16.7% catch rate against the Eagles. Quinyon really locked him up, but so did Adoree Jackson. Let's go. Now, I will say there were 2 plays that could have been game changer if Goff saw it, but the pressure was there all night and he was shook.
Game of football is crazy because it's really a game of inches. Score 0-0, opening drive of the game. The Eagles bust the coverage, leave that tight end wide the hell open. But Jordan Davis gets his paws on it, turns into a pick. Eagles the other way. Eagles end up getting points that will be monumental in this game. But Pete, the Eagles bust the coverage. I think this safety, Nakobe, should have been rotated down. I don't know, obviously. Eagles bust the coverage. Turns into a pick. Yo, this Jalen Phillips edition has been huge for the Eagles. Watch him win with the two-hand swipe over maybe the best right tackle in football with Lane Johnson hurt. I mean, clean. You don't beat Penei Sewell any cleaner than Jalen Phillips. Two-hand swipe. Get off me. Any cleaner. And Jalen Phillips saves a touchdown. Because right now, this dude coming across the formation is wide the hell open. But because Jalen Phillips is bending Jared Goff freaking backwards, Eagles get off the field. I mean, this is huge now. This addition to Jalen Phillips, two-hand swipe. Crush. That's huge now. Saves a touchdown.
Boy, oh boy, I'm loving the addition of Jalen Phillips. Thomas R. Peterson said that JP has 12 quarterback pressures in 2 games with the Eagles. In the first 8 games, the top pressure leaders were Jalen Hunt's 15 and Ajomo's 12. Phillips is completely changing the D-line. Crazy numbers, and again, as he keeps getting more snaps, you're going to see a fresher Nolan Smith, BG, Jalen Hunt, and the interior going to eat too, especially the fact that we had 5 passes defended from our 2D tackles, 3 from Jordan Davis and 2 from Jalen Carter. Who knows if them passes would have been completed for big first downs, big gains, but these guys are just too big, too tall.
Let's watch the interior pass rush here of Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis. Davis gets the double team on this play right here, and he gets his hands up, and the ball's tipped, and there goes Cooper DeJean with the gift, right? The early holiday gift right there, setting up the Eagles' first score. Jalen Carter, though, he's just the same. Like, it's to the point right now you cannot throw the ball over these trees inside, all right? You got to throw the ball through the trees. Everybody's finding it out. Another ball tipped. All right, Jordan Davis right here. He's got Jared Goff right here off play action. He's got Amon-Ra St. Brown open right here in the middle of the field. But Jordan Davis tips that ball. And the quarterback is like flummoxed. All right, Jalen Carter has defended 4 passes in the last 2 weeks. Contained rush, bats that ball down with 2 hands. Like, you cannot throw the ball over these trees, especially if Moro Jomo beats the right guard easily. And Jared Goff is now on the move. And here comes Jordan Davis. I mean, Jordan Davis right now has defended 6 passes. Like, he's defended more passes than a lot of quarterbacks in this league by tipping the ball in the middle of the field. You can't throw it over the trees. You got to throw it between the trees, between Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter.
They're doing it more now than they've been. So shout out to Clint Hurt for preaching. Get your hands up if you don't get to the play, because they are wrecking games with it. On another note, I got to give a huge shout out to Nakobe Dean. He's just been vicious at the linebacker position.
Don't you just wish you could blitz like Nakobe Dean? Like, any running back coming over, they've got their problems. Like, David Montgomery's a hell of a blocker. But this play changed the game last night. That sack right there. But 6 days earlier, he did the same thing against the Packers. He came, Josh Jacobs tried to stand in front of his way, just blew him up, got to Jordan Love. I mean, 2 blitzes in 6 days changed the game. Nakobe Dean right here. I mean, don't you just wish you could just once just attack a quarterback, attack a running back the way Nakobe Dean does, and just blows it all up?
2 weeks, 2 big blitzes. But what he does against the run don't go unnoticed. Plus, this man was matched up against Jahmyr Gibbs and ran stride for stride. And on a different occasion had a D. Jamison Williams and stuck with him too. Listen, I love Jahad Campbell, and his time will come. But Nakobe Dean has to be on the field. He's a tone setter, game changer, leader on the field. Lastly, one more thing about the defense, and it's about Quinyon Mitchell. Brendan Deeg tweeted the coolest part of Quinyon Mitchell's 2025 season. Last year, he only lined up on the right side. This year, right cornerback, 46.7% of his snaps, and left cornerback, 52.2% of his snaps. However, his 41.9% completion percentage allowed this season is the lowest by any player since 2018. Talk about first team all-pro type stuff. Flipping back to the offense, Jalen Hurts was asked multiple times if he made it a point to target A.J. Brown, who had like 12 targets.
Yeah, just going with the flow of the game and how it was called and trying to go out there and execute.
So there wasn't like an effort to get him the football?
That may be a KP question.
He answered the first one, but the Philly media kept going. Then he said, as Kevin Patullo, he's the play caller. Again, there is something there that just needs to be corrected as it pertains to the Eagles getting back on track offensively, and it has to start with play calling. Lastly, let's hear what D-Gun said on Seth Joyner's show that has people on Twitter in a frenzy.
There's a lot of people in that organization that are frustrated with the quarterback situation right now, but the quarterback understands he has them over a barrel. This is almost Carson Wentz part 2. They're not going to eat this kind of money yet. There's no way they're going to eat this kind of money. Look at the cap hit they took when they got rid of Carson, and look, it took them a couple of years to get back on solid ground again, footing, because they were handcuffed financially because of what they owed in the cap hit they took with Carson Wentz. You get the same scenario here with a bigger volume of money involved here.
Now, I'm not calling D-Gun a liar, but I don't believe this. Come on now. What is going on? he tried to compare him to Carson Wentz. I think he was talking about the money thing. You can't compare their psyche, their leadership. You can't compare nothing of Carson Wentz to Jalen Hurts. Simple and plain. As for the people growing frustrations, that wasn't in that part, but he mentioned that Jalen Hurts wants to run his offense, and sometimes he don't listen to the coaches. They'll do something in practice. It worked. And in the game, he decides not to do it. He even said that the players and coaching staff see it when they're watching film. If that's the case, why didn't A.J. Brown come out and say, Jalen has to get me the ball when I'm open? He said the opposite. Now, really, am I supposed to believe that Jalen Hurts won't do something that worked in practice? Come on now. Again, D Gun, you're retired. You're on the show. You probably got some connections. I know he still talks to BG. They're cool people, but this is crazy. We're coming off a big win. Our Super Bowl MVP quarterback is being talked about like this. What is going on? And again, I'm only addressing it because I didn't do a video yesterday in my DMs, and I was tagged in this 100 times on Twitter. Once again, the Eagles know how to shut out the noise, and they will. And I do believe sooner or later, KP or not, the offense will get it going. We have a couple easy defensive teams that we can try some stuff out for the playoffs. But the playoffs got to be on our mind as we sit with the number 1 seed, 8-2, and destiny in our hands. With all that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I absolutely love hearing from you guys. Also, do me a favor, hit the like, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the videos, all that good stuff. Swipe over on the comment section to hype the video. Do all that stuff. Make sure you're notified so when we go live, drop videos, all that good stuff. Had fun at the live play-by-play, although it was a defensive performance again. You already know. All day, every day. Philly strong. We out.